So before we're done, we've got another new movie.
Fire of Love, which is a documentary about the French volcanologists,
Yes.
people who study volcanoes as opposed to people who study volcans. Katia and Maurice Krafft. The National Geographic label at the beginning tells you that you're going to see some remarkable scientific footage, because whenever their name is at the beginning of a film, you're going to see some stuff. And they journey from one explosive observation trip of observing live volcanoes, volcanoes that are spewing molten stone, stuff that should be solid, but is so on fire that it's not solid anymore. The title also tells you that it's a love story that we know has a tragedy in it, because very early on we are shown an image and we are told this is the last recorded image of the pair. We also know that there is tragedy coming because the rather overwrought narration is read by Miranda July in her most breathy tones. Here's a clip.
Alone, they could only dream of volcanoes. Together, they can reach them. They meet on a blind date at a cafe. From here on out, life will only be volcanoes, volcanoes, volcanoes.
C'est très dur, deux volcanologues qui vivent ensemble, parce que c'est très volcanique, donc franchement, ça fait des éruptions très souvent.
For Katia and Maurice, the unknown is not something to be feared. It is something to go toward.
Moi, j'aime bien qu'il marche devant moi. Je me dis, s'il va se tuer, je préfère être avec lui, donc.
The most staggering, what's he said? The unknown is not something to be feared; it is something to be gone towards.
Yes, and what she says there, because we have subtitles here, says, "If he's going to die, I'd rather be with him."
Yeah. So, the story is remarkable. A relationship of equals who are both equally committed to the pursuit of an exploration that will put them in harm's way by its very nature. You saw in that clip that we were watching of the footage of them dressed in the silver, like spacesuits, heat suits, dancing by the side of an exploding volcano. So the footage is extraordinary. I don't know about you, but I think that the sight of lava, of molten lava folding, and there is something about it which is mesmerizing, not least because it kind of represents in the most visual way the origin of the Earth, the way in which what we're on, underneath us, everything is shifting and moving constantly. Yeah. There are some really extraordinary images. There's also a terrific electronic score by Nicolas Gadin, who is one half of Air, who are the French
Moon Safari.
Yeah, precisely. If I have a reservation, and I do, it's that I could have lived with the narration being toned down. The narration feels very overwrought and felt like it was doing more lifting work than I needed it to do, both in its writing and in its presentation. Now, this is obviously something that's a very sort of personal thing, the way in which one feels about any. And incidentally, I've narrated documentaries, so I cannot criticize anybody else for overall. I would never knowingly underwritten. But I felt that what the narration was trying to do was to do that Herzogian thing about getting beyond the immediate, cinema verite truth and getting towards an ecstatic truth. And I think that Herzog can do it and few others can.
What's an ecstatic truth?
Herzog's definition of an ecstatic truth was something which is beyond what you immediately see. So the ecstatic truth is the essential truth. Not the truth of I think he once described cinema verite as people, tourists faced with the past, as opposed to seeing beyond that. Because we interviewed Herzog, he has that way of kind of seeing through the surface to something beyond it. And I felt that the narration was trying to do that, and I could have lived without it, because I felt that the story of this couple and their relationship with each other and with volcanoes was remarkable enough. But it's a minor criticism.